All right, we're back after 1 week of me being sick. So, as requested, I am going to go through a short recap of our game thus far. So, this is a homebrew campaign, and for those of you who don't know what that is, homebrew is basically a fancy way of saying a completely original campaign that was made up, and it's not a module from a specific source. Um, I'm using a website called World Anvil. There should be a link in the Twitch links below. And basically, what this allows me to do is it allows me to make characters for the campaign. And basically, it has everything in terms of NPCs and player characters that we have in the game. And then, in terms of where the character sheets are stored, we are using D&D Beyond, which is a pretty fun site. And if you haven't used it before, I would strongly recommend it, especially for first-time players. It does a lot of the automation itself in terms of doing your roles and stuff, especially if you're playing with an online group, or if you just need help getting your character sheet. As you can see, Argus's character sheet is completely filled out, and it already includes things such as just proficiency bonus for when he does rolls. Um, if you've never seen D&D before, have never played, this is the 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's one of the more popular ones that has come out and gotten a lot more people involved. You might have heard about the Critical Role groups, and other voice actors have gotten together to do that. So what ends up happening is that in the game, I might call for a character to do a role, to do a task, whether that be climbing a rope, or to do some sort of checking if see if they can heal someone using medicine, or even just seeing if they can catch something in the corner of their eye. The cool thing about a site like this is that if I just click on something, it will already roll a dice and give me everything included. So they would roll a 17 on a check, and that would either be a hit or miss depending on how difficult the challenge are. So in terms of this campaign, I have 6 players playing, and they're all pretty diverse. I don't think we have a single human character, which is kind of funny because I usually have one. So we have Argus the Resplendent, who's a bard warlock, and we have Belzak, a half orc fighter Eldritch Knight, Kestrel, a wizard blade singer, Lore, which is an artificer and a warforged, Lunem, which is our shifter and a cleric, and Tatanka, dwarf barbarian. We're only 6 sessions in, so the recap won't be too terribly long. Essentially, what ends up has happened is that our players have come to this brand new continent that's sprawled out of nowhere. It's called Alucinado, and if you know Latin, you'll get a kick out of that. And essentially, the whole point of this island is that a wizard named Nerdy has come by and has passed away. He decided that he was going to give up his island upon his passing to the person who can prove themselves worthy. Thus far, our players have been able to recover a clue to the first key for one of the 4 gates. Each one of the characters has a personal task that was defined in the last session and has our own reasons for being here, as well as now trying to be somewhat invested into trying to claim the prize for themselves. Essentially, the reason why the prize is so grand is not only are you getting basically your own private continent that's barred from any deities from getting to your this place that you're claiming as your own, but there's wealth and artifacts among other natural resources. It's been 100 years since the guy passed away, and no one's claimed it, and he decided that his spirit would come back to relay a message saying, hey, if you haven't found it, here's your first clue. Definitely check out the website for the World Builder, because the World Builder contains a lot of the past information for past NPCs, and I'll be adding to it throughout each session. So without much further ado, we'll get back to where we left off last time. The group is getting ready to retire for the night, and I don't know, do you guys need to do anything as you sleep, or are we ready just to go towards the next morning?
Well, I was going to go do a thing.
Okay. Anyone else need to do anything else before we go ahead and let everyone catch their sleep for the night?
I actually wanted to read the document that was given to me.
Okay.
Before I went to bed.
All right. Anyone else need to?
Kestrel just wants to buy all the booze and get drunk alone in her room.
Okay.
Don't we all?
Alright, well, I was going to go and uninvitedly and unapologetically go and hassle Kestrel.
Oh, fair enough. Go ahead.
You there? Hello? Are you
No
decent?
way.
Are you decent?
No, I'm never decent.
Alright, fine, I'm coming in. Look, I know that I usually am, me. But I noticed that you didn't seem to be very pleased with me because of I wasn't taking this whole message from the lady seriously. So I want. Are you drunk?
Yes.
Alright, fine, whatever. But I saw that was not that you didn't like that, so I wanted to. I wanted to apologize. There, I said it.
I don't know what to say to that, other than I'm going to regret not remembering this in the morning, because I somehow feel this is the first and last time it's going to happen.
Probably, but I didn't. I think that you don't seem to be handling things well, and I know that I make that hard for you sometimes. So, we're in this together, and I wanted to let you know that I can do better. I'm pretty sure.
You're an obstinate, frustrating, hair-pulling nightmare to take care of. But if I were to admit it, which if you catch me when I'm not bottle of wine in hand and 3 in, I would deny this, but I don't exactly dislike you.
I think that's the kindest thing I've ever heard you say.
Pleasant enough to be around at times. Not much, a little too much, but not bad. This, and I sort of shake my bottle of wine, is nothing to do with you.
Okay, well, if I had any part in that, and I genuinely am sorry. But you seem to be occupied, so I will let you do you, and we can talk in the morning.
What do you know about why I'm here?
I figured you were here because you and I were doing this thing together.
Oh, you're precious, you know. What I mean is, do you know why, out of everybody, I got settled with being your guardian?
Because you're brilliant and you're amazing at doing the things, and they needed the best person to handle the wonderful and serious purpose that we have here.
I think you're overestimating both of us. In the eyes of the Queen, perhaps you're favored. In the eyes of the court, not so much. As for myself, the laughing stock of the whole place. Even more than you. You're the bloody jester.
Well, maybe that is why you're here, so that way we can show them
Wasn't
How-
supposed to be like this, you know.
it's going to be better.
I was supposed to be better. I was supposed to be somebody.
You are, you will be. If I have to drag you kicking and screaming to greatness, I will.
Oh, really not so bad. I just sort of struggle to my feet, wavering and stumbling toward August, throw my arm around his neck, and just start giving him a noogie.
Okay, all right. Look, I don't know how to deal with all of this right now, so why don't you get some rest and we can talk in the morning?
Are you sure you don't want a bottle of wine? I've got more.
No, I've got plenty. Just get some sleep, and I'll just.
Halfway through that sentence, she has already collapsed onto the ground and snoring.
I go to grab the blanket off of her bed, and I go to her prostrate form, and I go to take the blanket and then go to like put it over her. But then I realize that it's actually kind of soft and nice. I shrug my shoulders and I just go to my room with it.
Alrighty, anything else with Argus and Kestrel?
That will be all.
Alrighty. Alright, so then I believe that we had Belzac that had a request to check out his stuff regarding the package that you received from Marin, correct?
Correct.
Alright, so in the parcel in your room, Marin has a dossier there for you to essentially tell you that that if you happen to find a set of statues that are approximately 12 inches in length and are carved out of some precious metals at in a vendor what is described as a Colosseum, she would be willing to pay a good sum of them. Apparently, there were a limited release from a famous sculptor. There's 6 of them in total.
And according to this document, there's 2 of them at the Colosseum.
Yep.
That's referenced. Would I happen to know that this is, or I guess probably I wouldn't, but does this seem to be the Colosseum that we've been referenced to be going to?
As far as you know, so far there's only one major Colosseum. Go ahead and roll me a history check just to be on the safe side.
Not crazy promising, but 15?
Oh yeah, you know that from hearing people in the bar and talking about the upcoming events that are headlining the Coliseum in the next few weeks, that this is probably the same one everyone's going to, since it seems like it's going to be the next large gathering of places for you in terms of finding information or for people to spend money on the next big contests. So it's likely that this is going to be the same place, just putting 2 and 2 together.
And just for reference one more time, this is these are 12-inch diameter statues?
Yeah, they're going to be 12 inches tall and, probably about 4 or 5, give or take. And they're going to be sculpted out of a precious metal.
Oh, sorry. Alright, that's pretty much what I need. Wait, didn't you say that she just wanted a couple?
Well, she wants to get her hands on the full 6, but you at least know that 2 are there.
Okay. I will go ahead and roll that up and tuck it back in my pack and call it a night.
Okay. Anything else before we retire for the night? Going once, twice.
Not anything super specific. I'm just going to be reading my Intro to Infernal book.
Okay.
As well as struggling through some material that I have of my own that's an Infernal.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. If there's nothing else, then we'll just go ahead and go through a full 8 hours of time and get you guys rolling. Probably, I would say, about just a little bit after the sun rises and the tavern starts bustling alive with. So you guys get a full night rest. The sun rises. You can hear from your rooms the clamoring of pots and pans as the the tavern starts getting ready to prepare breakfast for the occupants, and go ahead and go from there.
So we're all like coming out into the bar then?
Yeah, either that or
All right. Well, I'm just going to. How busy is it?
it's fairly busy in the morning. It seems like a lot of people are trying to, with the news of everything going on, people are kind of trying to hurry up and grab as much food as they can as quickly as they can, so that way they can get back to their search in the morning.
I want to find just a random passerby, someone who seems to be like, in a hurry, like chomping down their food or what have you.
All right. There's this guy right down in the corner where Swabby. He looks like he's getting ready to hurry up and chow down real quick. He looks like he has to get ready to head out soon.
Excuse me, friend. I hate to bother you, but what seems to be all the hubbub?
Oh, for me, I've got to ship out. We're casting off here pretty soon, and it's going to be a long while before we get any hot food from a place like this.
It just seems to me like everybody is all in some kind of hullabaloo. Do you know what that is all about?
Well, with the military and the corporations and everyone else getting an idea that this area is going to be a prime spot for the contest, I take it that's what everyone's doing. But men like me who have to go do our regular jobs, we're just trying to hurry up and get out of here.
I know, damn the man. But I was just curious. Have you heard anything? Did anybody? I know that there was that whole big nonsense with the big person in the sky who was just like telling people, "Oh, there's a thing here that nobody found." But has anybody heard, like, if the clue was found at all?
Well, damage report from last night, from just waking up and grabbing the local parchment, just said that there's probably about a good, for every 10 adventurers that go in, only 8 come out without with injuries. Only 2 out of every 10 come out unscathed, and it's riling people up a little bit.
I see. But has anybody, like, come out with the information? Like, has anybody found the clue? Has that news broken?
Nothing yet, but I only imagine it's a matter of time before, something happens. There's a large amount of people probably even coming from the outside territories coming here now to go look for it.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I'm just trying to see what's going on there. Okay, thanks. Appreciate your... Bye.
Poor William kind of looks at you and his head's kind of hurting, and he's like, oh, it's like, all right, so what's my job again?
Well, you have to stay here, and you have to, when we bring supplies for you to send back to the court, we have to bring it to you. That's right, right? Kestrel, you aren't here.
Kestrel is still unconscious in her room.
But, yeah, so it's terrible lot for, all your, I know that's the last thing you wanted to do, but here we are. So, lady says, sorry.
He's like, all right, I guess I'll just try to find some permanent lodging then and wait for further instructions. I guess I can plot around here and maybe people will be willing to part with stuff at a low cost.
I'm going to reach into my pouch and say, well, if you're having any problems with finding money for lodging and things like that, I've had good luck with playing my lute and people giving me money, so you may want to try that.
He looks at you and he's like, I don't play music, and he brings out a couple of throwing small little plastic wooden balls and tossing. You think he starts struggling? You think this will do anything?
It's definitely worth a shot.
He kind of chippers up at the idea and, kind of nods his head and puts it away. It's like, I guess worst case scenario, always ask for payment from the court.
There you go. See what they can do for you. That's it. Keep stiff upper lip and chin up and all that. And we're going to be heading out, aren't we? Wasn't there somebody who had some sort of nonsense? I'm not talking to you anymore. Didn't we have some other... thing that we should be doing?
Okay, well, I'll join over. Last I heard, we were heading to some Coliseum thing Tatanka wanted to go to.
Yes, Tatanka had made mention of Coliseum.
Yes, we need to set out that way, but there's this dog right here that's very cute.
He kind of pants.
Is it made of metal?
No, it's made of dog.
The dog is made of dog.
We may want to make sure that we are quiet when discussing these things. It seems like this information is not widely known and could lead us into trouble.
Oh, are you guys are over here? Okay.
I guess.
Okay, well, quick question. Like, ambience-wise, is it still pretty, like, obviously not, like, party lively, but is it definitely something where we can be discreet if we talk amongst ourselves?
Yeah, I would take it that for being the fact that this room is full of people talking about strategy and talking about, boasting how they're going to find stuff, your words are probably not going to even travel more than 5 or 10 feet away at best. And even past that, it's probably going to be just no more than a whimper.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn to Argus, and I'm going to ask him specifically. I need your help with something, if you would.
Oh, really?
I would really.
Would be good.
I'm on the lookout for a couple of statues, possibly at this Colosseum.
Okay.
I need to get a hold of them, and I may be able to get a little somewhere with somebody big here.
I see.
But I might need your help in procuring them.
Sure, why not? We've got all sorts of stuff that we've got to get going on in there, so sure, I'll help out as I can.
So while this is happening, I reach into my bag and I grab like a bunch of metallic little items that are like, I don't know, they're probably like spoons, and I throw them on the table, and I use my magical tinkering to create a contraption that like the spoons like clap together and make like an annoying noise. And I just throw it on the center of the table.
I'm
And
gonna
then
warn you, bud.
And then I look at you guys and I go, well, that should help with people hearing us.
I would have been very intently
What?
and amusedly watching Lore just gather spoons and knives and the like as he puts together this contraption.
Is it drawing any attention from people around?
I mean, you get a couple of people just kind of just shaking their head as they talk, or just the people just kind of 5 or 10 feet away from you. The room is loud enough to where something like that only captures the attention of those walking nearby.
I'm gonna try to find the rhythm in it and pull out my lute and start like jamming with it.
Zashi comes over, he's like, that gives me an idea. Not sure if it's a good idea, but it's an idea all the less. You artificer, mind if I keep that?
It doesn't really last that long. I am capable of
I'm
longer
gonna interject.
though.
I'm gonna interject. Yeah, you can have that if you'd like, but what are you willing to give for it?
He kind of turns.
Oh, a proposition.
He kind of looks at you and he's like, well, how about breakfast on the house?
Deal.
Breakfast? I like breakfast.
Wait a second, I don't eat.
I'll have his then.
he looks to you and he kind of just pulls out a note and just kind of hands it over to Lori. He's like, take this and tell someone in shops that I sent you, and they should be able to compensate you for that. If anything, you more likely can probably end up talking to Hanma, and she knows exactly that I'm good for it.
I will look up to Belzec and say, can we just make one quick rule that you, at least for me, that you don't sell any of my belongings for breakfast, please?
He made an annoying contraption. I got rid of it.
But the contraption was helping with the noise.
Yes, it was.
It made it better.
I was under the impression you were not wanting to be heard by people, and if there is a machine... Oh, it's just an interesting philosophy. It was an experiment. I was trying it out, and I apologize. Go on with your conspiracies.
I appreciate the initiative, Lore.
Oh, the initiative is not lost. It was just really annoying.
So are you, but we don't tell you for breakfast.
Sure, we
I
could
got
do
you
that.
breakfast.
The
And
precedent has been set that if something is annoying, it will be traded for breakfast.
That seems like a good rule to me.
I suddenly feel less comfortable right here.
All right.
Okay, well, I was planning
Speaking
on
of annoying, I'm going to go and wait Kestrel.
Do we have a plan for the day, or are we leaving this place? I wasn't sure if I had to do more research or not.
We're
If there
going
were
to
other
go
questions.
see them.
Ah. Well, that
So
sounds
you could
something we can do.
research how to get there.
Ah,
That would be handy.
I can indeed do that. While you guys are while my compatriots here are doing the thing where they have to fuel themselves with actual foodstuffs, I think I can avoid all of this and be less annoying to some people at the table.
I've already
And I
left.
can, impressive. He could hear me from over here. Worried about my noise contraption
He's
software.
capable of
device.
hearing over vast distances, only if it has any form of comedic relief.
I've also heard the word annoying way too many times in my life.
As I do not need anything at this table currently, I will go and look into this Colosseum and where we might be able to find it while you are imbibing of refreshments to recharge yourselves for the morning. Unless there's something else that you need of me.
That's all I can think of right now.
And Belzac, you owe me 5 spoons.
Put it on my tab.
These are spoons that he just picked up from the table.
I would like to point out that you just got mad at me for him selling his spoon contraption that he got free. All right, so Zashi. Sorry, I didn't think that's how it was spelled. What exactly is on the menu for breakfast?
Today we have this thing called oatmeal. It was very popular among nerdies culinary philosophy. Very cheap, very hearty. Mostly consisted of some sort of wheat and sometimes accompanied by pieces of fruit with cream. We also have several types of eggs with bread and butter and cheeses. We also have some small slabs of meat. Nothing that will make you too sated, but enough to make you feel at least that you've had something.
Is there anything you recommend that's a good hearty meal, especially something for possibly a long travel?
He's like, well, depends. Can you handle something rich and hearty, or do you need something light and refreshing?
What do I look like? I'm rich and hearty.
He just nods. It's like, indeed. But then he looks over at the orc, but that one, not sure.
That's fair.
One way to find out.
He just grins widely at you, and you kind of go ahead and make a perception check.
I like where this is going. Oh, dang it. Quit hitting. Okay. Oh, jeez. That is really good. 20.
You know for a fact that this, you know that it's not dangerous, but you know this may not bode well for you. He's like, excellent, new victims, and walks away.
Alrighty.
He returns a few minutes. He'll take him about 10 to 15 minutes to go and grab what he's going to grab. Anything Lumen was going to do while he waits at the table?
Not particularly. I'll just wait for us to be ready to go.
Okay. Let's go ahead and man, Kestrel kind of hit the sauce pretty hard last night. So, how do you plan on waking Kestrel up there, Argus?
I am going to make my way into her room. I let myself out, so. And in what state do I find her?
Laid out exactly where you left her on the floor, only now she is shivering.
I'm going to alight myself. Like, I'm going to fly up and alight myself onto a perch onto her bed, like, overlooking her, with my lute in hand. And then I'm going to start playing loudly and squawking as wretchedly as possible, like, at her.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay.
Oh. Kind of gig, August! First thing in the morning every time! Every time! And I just, without seeing where I'm aiming, in the general direction of the noise, Schlosky! I cast Firebolt.
Bring it, bitch.
Go ahead and roll me a dex save, Argus.
Can I hear
Oh, she's
any
going to
of,
attack.
can I
she's
hear
gonna
any of
attack
the
me.
gale from downstairs?
No, thankfully the room's loud enough to where you... Well, you know what? Make me a perception check. Let's see if you can. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Pretty good at those. Never mind. 11.
Yeah.
I rolled a 2.
12.
Miss!
Lucky you. Also, I would like to apologize for anyone who actually speaks Welsh, if anyone does here. I am mangling it to use it as Sylvan.
That's Welsh is a very interesting language to pick as Old Elvish.
Yes, and it was Sylvan, and it's... Oh my god, I have to write out how to pronounce things. Like, I had to look things up and then try to write out how to pronounce it.
Is Sylvan essentially the equivalent of Old English but for Elvish?
Kind of.
Yeah, kinda.
Alrighty. Oh boy. All right. So after you guys wake up, are you guys gonna immediately go downstairs, or are you guys gonna be having some words?
I'm going to, after ducking a firebolt flung at my head, I am going to squawk and fly out the door, and then go back down and be like, okay, well, I think Kestrel should be joining us at some point, and I have to hide for unrelated reasons.
The first thing you see before you see Kestrel is a bottle of mostly drunk wine, but still a bit at the end, flying through the air down the stairs in the general direction of Argus.
Okay. 1 sec. Never mind, that
See, you
won't
think she's bad when she's drunk. Imagine being that bottle of wine.
Jesus.
What's so bad about being drunk?
That's a glass of water. Okay. We good?
You
Are we
That's a
eating at
yes.
this
Okay,
point,
come
or
on,
no?
let's go. Are we done? We know where we're going?
Oh boy. So as you guys, all right. So as all this is going on, Zashi comes back with two. I wouldn't call them plates, but more like large serving pans, and sets before both Tatanka and Belzak two large pans, and it's literally covered with two large flat cakes, a giant slab of meat between two pieces of bread, and a piece of cheese. And what you don't even know, well, you do know. You can only surmise that the large bird that you met in the temple that you were in on top of it. And he's like, complete the breakfast buffet and put your name on the wall.
Alrighty then.
So
I'm just gonna dive in.
yeah, so the pancakes here are about the size of a large plate and probably about half an inch thick. The burger itself is probably that big as well, and probably yay big. It's probably good 5 or 6 inches deep, and yeah, it's a lot of food. And he basically serves you guys with some freshly squeezed juice. But as he walks, he's like, "Fail, and you go on the wall of shame." And he walks away.
Oh, okay.
Kestrel at this point has stumbled her way to the table, collapsed into a chair, and just face planted, mumbling loudly, "Food, beer."
No beer. There's time for that later. Come on, we'll get some food in you.
I'll pass my oatmeal over because clearly she's distressed.
And I will begin it again.
All right.
You're a good one, you are.
Oh, God.
And just sort of half hugs Newman.
It's okay. It's
Wow.
okay. I'm doing that thing where like my arm is between me and her, and I'm just like, it's okay. Don't worry. No, I'm not that hungry.
Go and roll me a perception check there, Lumen.
Do I get to redeem myself? 24.
You may have not wanted to roll that great. You can smell the wine, and you can smell how much it's aged inside of her with her speaking right in front of you. Your nose, your acute sense of smell is just kind of making you kind of heat drive people a little bit. You're like, oh, okay. Yep, it's good. Thank you. Breathe a little too much into that.
Scarfs down the oatmeal. The next time that I catch that instrument of yours unguarded, it's going on fire. Bloody little bird.
Zashi comes by and he's like, with a glass, he's like, ancient remedy, take. Slides you a glass with, some sort of, clear liquid with an egg with, on it with some sort of red dust on top, and then walks away.
It's
Give it
just
a few
like
sniffs. What does it smell like?
It smells something mighty fierce. Like it smells like some sort of potent.
But
Yeah, it's pretty. How do I put it? If there was
Mighty
equivalent, if it was equivalent of gasoline, that's probably what it would smell like it right now.
All right. I just throw my head back and chug all of it.
The taste is really bad. Like you have tasted blood of your enemies, and even that would be a kind respite compared to this. And it burns all the way down to the point where you might as well be breathing fire. But after 10 or 15 seconds, the headache that you might have been suffering or any type of stomach indigestion slowly fades away.
Oh, I think I need to do all my benders here. It burns, but oh, bloody hell, my head is pounding slightly less.
All right, Tatanka, 'Tatanka, 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 'Tatanka,
16.
19.
Said that was a what, Tataka?
19.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are going strong. You make it through, a good third of the food, and you're like, man, this is really good. I don't see a problem with this right now. All right. And, a couple bites later, go ahead and make me another roll, con save, but do not add your modifier.
Ooh, 17.
19.
All right. You guys make it halfway through. Still feeling pretty good. You're like, man, other people might be lightweights. As you keep plodding through, you got about a good half of your meal left. Starting to get the little bit of your stomach starting to get a little bit full. You can feel it. Just that those flat cakes are just starting to take up a little bit of space, and the meat's just starting to pile in there. Go ahead and roll me another con check. No modifiers. To the straight D20.
18.
As long as it doesn't fall off the desk. 19. Jesus.
Okay, yeah. You guys managed to finish your meal. I was going to have, if you failed once on that, I was going to have you roll disadvantage, but you guys trucker through, and, Zashi comes by. He just kind of stares in amazement. He grabs, he has a tripod from outside and just takes a picture and throws you on the wall, and there's only like 2 other people, and himself and the cook. He's like, I never thought that I would have company up here. Bravo. We will sing your praises at future banquets.
When's the next one of those?
He's like, perhaps next time will be when you stop by. It takes a while to make one of these. We only really prepare 2 or 3 a day because some fool thinks that they can handle it.
I was talking about the banquet.
Oh. Well, maybe after the games. Usually you like to celebrate after that. You are heading there. I assume most people would be.
Rally ho.
Barkeep, I point at my empty bowl of oatmeal and hold up 2 fingers. Could I get 2 more of these, please?
Of course. Walks away, comes back a few minutes later. Puts it down there. It's like, would you like anything specific to go with it? Cream or fruit?
I look at Lumen, slide one in front of him. Whatever you want, I'll buy.
He kind of looks at you surprised, like, meals on the house.
Oh. Well, then, whatever you want on it, because I'll definitely be buying, and I slide the bowl in front of Lumen.
I will have. Do you have kiwis?
He kind of
Good with this?
he barks out loud. He's like, ah! He points over to the cook. We finally got one. Someone with taste. And the freaking cook just throws his apron on the floor, spits on it, and pulls out a cutting board, starts cutting up kiwis, and it's like, here's your damn furry fruit.
That got quite the reaction. I'm curious now, could I try those? Also strawberries and that cream.
I'll be right back really quick, guys.
I assume there's a story to go with that response.
He
Mr. Bear?
he
Mr. What's your name? Sashit?
Zashi, yeah, he chuckles up loud. He's like, so I go down to the market most mornings, and one of our suppliers comes back from some tropical island, and he says that this fruit, although looks strange and feels fuzzy, has great taste. Cook over there doesn't think that anyone would order it, and sure enough, for 3 weeks, no one orders it because they only see the outside and thinks that it's some sort of creature. And finally, I get to say he's wrong. He puts the.
I'm
Oh.
glad there's some closure there then.
He kind of just his smirk is just wide now, and you could just still see the cook just kind of going, who would even eat that? You could just see him mouthing the words. He puts a small bowl in front of you, and it doesn't just have strawberries. There's a couple of other berries included, and there's the kind of give you a pick of what you need to put in there in a small thing of cream. So
I dump all of my serving into it, and just mix it up and eat the whole second bowl.
All right. Laura, go ahead and make me a history check. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So you basically, after spending about, good 20 to 30 minutes, just at the local cartographers guild, you kind of just look over some maps while you're there, kind of over the train, and you do know that, there's a pretty good path from here to the Coliseum through a small forest trail that will get you to where you need to go. So you know that it has the route that you plotted out specifically has very to low no bandit attacks on there, and it would make a pretty easy trip for you and your companions.
Splendid. I write the most. I create a map that is just beautiful, beautiful copy. And I probably work on that for however long it takes me.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long. They already had some copies for you, or just they already had some copies there just to pick up for adventurers, and
Oh, they'll let us take it, huh?
Yeah, they've got copies upon copies. It's part of the tourist boards thing to help Trevor write information for folks to get them out traveling.
I ask if anybody else has been asking for these recently.
Yeah, the shopkeep just basically tells you, it's like, yeah, a lot of people are trying to make their way towards the Coliseum the quickest and safest ways they can. Apparently, this time of the year where everyone goes to one of the four great events, it's usually a prime target for bandits, and some desperate creature looking for a quick meal will usually stalk out the trail. So it's not too surprising that people usually head that way.
I see. Well, thank you for your assistance, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm actually going to grab a couple of these, if that is okay.
It's like, of course. This is what we're here for.
You know what, Sal? What I will do is I'll draw it in my book.
Okay.
I can't remember. Are our books magically connected at all, or are we not?
Yeah. Basically, when you guys got to the island, the books are attached. And either if you had room in your satchel, you got. Well, I should say that. So when you arrive here, everyone magically was equipped with a small satchel that their book and a small sphere was put into.
But I couldn't remember. Are the books linked?
Yeah.
If I draw something in the book, are they linked to the other book?
No. Sorry. Your notes are your own personal notes.
I wasn't sure if that was the case or not. So, all right, cool. Well, yeah, I'll just I'll record it in my book, and then and then I guess I'll head back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So while they're finishing up their meals, Laura finally arrives to regale his information to the rest of the team.
I actually just take the maps and drop them on the table. And then I'm gonna go find the guy who took my contraption earlier. Is he sitting at the table still?
Oh yeah, he's just kind of cleaning up everyone's stuff as they finish.
Crap, what was his name again, Sal?
Zashi.
Zashi.
Yes.
I noticed earlier that you were propositioning me for an item of mine that I created, and I have been thinking to myself of something I might be able to do for you. I am not well of financing myself, and I was curious if you had assistance with devices that could be used around this establishment.
He kind of grins. He's like, yes, actually, The cook and I have been talking a little bit about trying to find a way to make life easier when trying to give instructions to the other ones. I liked your spoon idea because it gave me a thought. It's like, well, if these spoons could be made into different sizes, perhaps it'd be easier for us to measure and tell the folks in the kitchen what we need to put into stuff. He laughed it off.
Wait, you haven't been doing that already?
No, our chef wants to just simply say you put this much in, and then he kind of puts a small pile of whatever he's using ingredients wise. It's hard to
Sounds
replicate.
like how I do everything in life.
You're telling me your chef has not a trained alchemist? I don't know much about how humans, or I don't know how much about how demi-humans actually eat. But I would assume that that chef is an alchemist trained of some sort. I have the skills of an alchemist. I could easily do such things for you if you needed things measured out. That is, well, I must say, that is easy work. But no, truly, I'm actually much more ambitious than that. I noticed that you have lots of dishes around here. Are there other ways to clean those without using by hand? Perhaps there are devices I could help create. I noticed that you had these strange camera contraptions. Surely you have other items around here that could help you with your livelihood.
He kind of puts his head back and deep nodded, like, yes, if we could make it to where we can clean multiple dishes at once, it would certainly cut down the amount of time that we would need to do stuff. And in fact, it might even free up some extra hands.
Well, I am, we are traveling, it looks like here, so, but I have a project. When we come back, I could make time to do projects for you. If there were some form of financing involved, since I need money for adventuring. It is a very tough world out there.
He nods his head and goes, yes, if you are able to save me time and wages, I could compensate you with part of those gain in wages.
Very well then. I will put my mind to it while we're on our trip. I shall have a schematic created by the time I am back, and we'll see if it is necessary for what you are interested in. Thanks for partaking in this potential business for financial gain for myself. I will bid you good day and leave you to our secret conspiracy.
He nods his head and proceeds to take all of his anything that the party has finished. He's just taking it back to get washed.
I still look over at Belzak. If you take that from me, I'll be gravely upset.
Why would I take that from you?
Because it's going to change the world.
Okay.
Anyways, I hope you have had some time to look over the map. There are lots of people that travel in that direction, so I have a feeling that we are not going to be alone. How many of them are going there for whatever purpose we are going there for, I am a little unsure of. But the place that I acquired it from seemed to be handing out several of these maps, so we should be prepared. However, they are low on bandits, so I don't think the opposition will be hostile from the outside world. It'll most likely just be the competition.
And you think this is going to be our best route?
Well, unless you wish to become bandits ourselves.
What? We can become bandits?
I'm listening.
Well, I was always told that we could be whatever we wanted to be if we put our minds to it.
This
least
is
that-
true.
I'm not saying that we necessarily want to become bandits. Why are we even talking about this? I'm just implying. Oh, yes. I'm just implying that if we wanted to take an alternative route, we could. But this is the quickest and most direct and safest way there.
So what does the alternative route have to do with bandits?
Well, Like, if there's people traveling off the road, they're probably hostile.
Is
I
it
think we should
shorter
do
or is
this
it?
one, as it's the quickest.
As I just will repeat myself again, the map that I'm showing you has the quickest and most direct way. But if we wish to obfuscate ourselves, perhaps we could take an alternative route. I'm not sure. Once again, I don't know how secret we are keeping our actions.
Look at my clothes. Look at my feathers. Do you think I even know what the word obfuscate means?
I'm rather shocked you can even pronounce it. Honestly, I see no reason as to why we need to obfuscate ourselves in the first place.
I know she's doing that on purpose.
Obfuscate.
I'm
just
also
gonna look at
quite-
her, like, kind of with a cocked head, trying not to just process what's coming out of her mouth.
I'm also not the greatest at subterfuge.
She said, "Ask Q fate."
All right. Let's get back on track here.
We should probably make a decision about the direct route.
That sounds
I
like a
merely-
decision about the direct route.
I was merely going.
The faster we get there, the faster we can kill things. So let's go do that.
I'm in with that plan.
Really
I
quick.
don't remember much about last night, but I do remember saying I wanted to kill things. So let's go do that.
Amen to that. Really quick, Lore. Didn't you
Yes.
Get a ticket for your earlier feats to go see Hanma?
Out of character, I must have missed this. What was it?
Yeah, so for the spoons that you fused together for Zashi, he gave you a ticket to go redeem one small item from Hanma the blacksmith shop.
Oh gosh, gotcha. No, I must have missed that. I had to jump outside because I had a leak on my water on that. Anyways.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. No, I did not do that. Can I do that on the way, on our way out?
Yeah,
What I was trying to ask is if we'd go do that really quick, because
that's fine,
I
yeah.
actually need to grab the javelin that she was supposed to be making me because we didn't get that, and I have something else I wanted to try and get. That's what I was trying to ask you.
So back in character. No, I did not do that. We can do that on our way out. That seems like a great idea. Why didn't I do that just now? I was probably distracted of my glorious plan to change the world through finer crafting.
Well, I must commend you. You learn quick. Anyway, shall we go to Hanma really quick and then we can be off? Or do you guys need to go anywhere else before we leave?
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was that?
We're gonna go see the blacksmith really quick and then head out unless you guys needed to go see something else.
Does anybody know if they sell magical scrolls anywhere?
You'll have to make a trip through town. I don't think anyone was looking for that on the first go around in your guys' town adventure.
It's not that important. I'll worry about it later. I just want to go kill somebody. Lots
Fair.
of ways.
So
I
can we
feel like I should be obfuscating myself.
Alright, August. What does obfuscate mean?
You're pronouncing it wrong. It's ask Q fate.
What does obfuscate mean?
Like I said, does it look like I know the meaning of the word?
Hey, Argus, I'm gonna whisper in his ear. It means when you reveal yourself out in public.
Jeez, why are you right there? It's to reveal yourself, obviously. Now I have to go.
That is not what that means.
No.
You're not what that means.
Oh, got him.
Please stop
That's true, my
teaching
name is
weird
Lord.
things.
Alright, shall we go to Henma's?
As we're leaving the table, you see Lunum kind of hold his hands together, and he's looking down. He's like, "Just go with the madness. It's okay. Just go with it."
I just throw my arm around his neck. It's alright, my friend. Let's go follow these folks around, do a bit of a shopping episode, and then go kill some stuff.
I'm just gonna wave really sadly at the dog because I have to leave it here.
Yeah, he pants and, appreciates the goodbye. Move all these tokens. All right, and then view tool force players on.
Should have been ready for this. Jeez.
All right, so we'll get the map up, and then we will start players on current view. All right, so as soon as you guys exit out, you kind of hear the hustle bustle of the town, and there's some foot traffic hurriedly trying to go to where you guys had entered the temple. You see a couple of people, being carried on stretchers as they're heading north to, to the administration building, as they have set up a temporary field hospital up there. As there's quite a few people getting injured down there that the local facilities can't handle on their own.
So this is something we're obviously figuring out. We're seeing a bunch of people being sent away.
Yeah, you just see stretchers every few, after every minute or so, you just see another person on a stretcher, bloodied and banged up. With the person's like, "Hang in there, man. It's gonna be okay. We'll get back in there as soon as you're all healed up."
Idiots tried to warn him, and I'm gonna go ahead and start walking toward Hanma's.
Alrighty.
I'm assuming we're traveling as a group.
So how far is it to the?
The Coliseum's probably going to take you guys probably a good week to get there, even on foot.
A week.
Yeah, it's pretty spacious. This place is a lot more. Wow, that bot's still not working. Yeah, the place is still pretty much. Even though this is a huge hub, they still didn't make any real headway. There's a small. From the maps, you saw that there is a good pathway that was made, but in terms of actual distance, it's going to take a week to get there. I wouldn't say it's in the middle of nowhere, but there's a huge force that they're still trying to clear to get to there, and they've been only able to make a couple of straight-on pathways for that.
Then, just as a DM, do you require us stocking up on actual rations and camping supplies, or do you not track that sort of thing?
I as a player, I rarely keep track of that stuff, so I'm not going to force it as a DM. And I would have figured that you guys would take provisions, and so as long as you guys make the conscious note that you guys probably did pack provisions. Now, if you take anything specific, like if you guys take some sort of item that might spoil or something, that's different. But in terms of if you guys are going to take some dried meat and bread and stuff that doesn't rot real quick, then I'm not going to care about that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Some DMs are very specific about that, and some are just we assume that you bought food.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are. It would be one thing if you're level 1 adventurers not knowing anything, but you guys have all apparently have traveled at some point, so I figure you guys know how to make sure to feed yourself for at least a week.
Okey-doke.
Cool. I have enough food for a week, and assume that once we get done with everything, we will be done and magically teleported back here.
Yeah. Since we're gonna be gone that long, I was not aware that it was gonna be that long. I am gonna go look for that shop for scrolls.
Okay.
Do we want to possibly split up just to expedite this process really quick?
Already done, and I just wander off.
Okay.
Oh, she's still drunk, isn't she? I should probably.
I'm mostly not drunk.
I still follow her. Keep an eye on her.
All right, Lore, follow me.
Okay. Hama looks up and it's like, back again, huh?
Yes. First off, I believe you have a javelin that we discussed.
She perks her ears up. It's like, and here I thought you forgot about it.
Oh,
She
hell no.
she goes to the back and goes ahead and grabs it for you.
Perfect. All right, and while I have you here, I have one more question.
Sure.
What are my options if I wanted to get some sort of lens?
She kind of narrowly, shows you around, and you see everything from, just your standard long spear to, something that you would see for the equivalent of what you would see in a joust, and kind of everything between different lengths and stuff. She's like, what size?
Whatever the hardest hitting thing you got is.
So what specifically in game are you looking?
I'm actually looking right now. Sorry.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like,
Is it under? I hate to do that.
so standard lance is just 1d12 damage, piercing weapon.
I think it's a lens. I'm breaking it down. I'm basically looking for something to use as for. I've got polearm proficiency.
Okay.
I think that falls under polearm, doesn't it? Or am I crazy?
It's a halberd, glaive, quarterstaff, or spear.
Ah, that's what I was thinking of.
Halberd's good.
Yeah, halberd would be polearm.
Halberd and glaive are mechanically the same.
Yeah, do they actually just have it same damage?
Yeah, 1d10 damage. It's two-handed heavy.
Yeah,
They're mechanically the same.
yeah. There's really no same weight, same damage, same cost in gold. I guess just for aesthetics, I guess.
Alrighty. I guess glaive it is.
Yep.
Just because it sounds cooler for whatever reason.
And they have reach.
I fully agree with that. I was gonna say.
All right.
Glaive because it sounds cooler.
A glaive. All right, yeah. So she's like, 10 gold pieces, please.
It's simply
Turning
a
into
glaive, unfortunately.
Alright, and I'll do the exchange. I get the glaive.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be glad that you guys are in a major town that you guys are getting these discounts, because normally that'd be 20 gold pieces some of the other stuff you guys would get. But because it's a hustling, bustling city, they can afford to get a discount because it brings in people in the shop.
Again, I'm gonna kind of wave lore over.
Yeah, I've just been standing here looking at all the scrap metal again. Because we all know how much I love looking at scrap metal.
She's like, Lore, you're back again?
I guess so.
Lore,
I was given,
show her the ticket.
I was given this. I hand over.
Ah, well, Lore, your lucky day. This is a redemption for, well, I don't know what to really call it. My craftsmen have been calling it a toolbox, but essentially it contains not only some tools, but working items such as small slivers of steel, copper, and bronze. You may use it to craft things as needed.
Ah, so I don't have to go poaching you while you're not looking. I mean, sorry.
Her ears kind of tint up. Yes.
Well, thanks again, Hanma. I appreciate this.
Not a problem. Your gold's always welcome here.
I guess I have a brief question for you,
Yes.
Hanma. I know I'm probably out of the range of purchasing such an item right now, but I am in search eventually for a suit of half-plate armor to be adjusted to my body. What would you what would you be charging for that for me?
She kind of looks at you and is like, for someone like you, and your size and stature, half plate. Well, normally my going rate in this town is usually 500, but if you were where are you heading? Are you in a hurry right now, Laura?
Oh, we are heading out of town, so.
She's like, well, if you wouldn't mind running an errand, we could discuss the price at a discount.
Oh, an errand.
Yes, it seems like one of my wagons from out west has broken down near the Colosseum, and it holds a large trove of steel and iron. Be a dear and bring it back, and we can talk about giving you a discount on that half plate.
Oh.
Hanma, I got a question.
Yes.
What's going to be the discount, and what would be your normal going rate? I know you said 500, but it sounded like it was less.
Well, if you're able to retrieve the whole cash and bring it back, I'd probably go down to 250, and that's just for the cost of my men since you brought me the supplies. That's my month's shipment that I'm waiting for.
And how much would you charge for it right now? Like, no discount.
No discount. 500 gold pieces.
Lore, how much gold do you have?
I do not have 500 gold pieces, but I currently have 100 gold, 20 silver, and 30 copper in my name. That is not nearly enough, but perhaps this deal. I am not in a hurry. This is something that I would like to think about for future. It would make me a little more efficient. Hanma, I will take your deal. I will keep an eye open for this thing. We happen to be going in that direction anyways. If that's not a problem with you, Belzak. It's a cart, is what you say?
Yes. Look for my son. He sent a message just a few days past via pigeon. He knows I hate those birds, but apparently it was the fastest way of me getting the information.
Very well. What's your son's name?
Well, I usually call him a huge disappointment, but his...
I loudly cackle about that.
Oh, give me a sec here. I'm trying to... Oh, so I did use their last name as Yuki. Okay. No, that's a guy's name. What am I thinking here? Give me one sec here. One sec here. I've been meaning to actually bust this out because I've been wanting to toss in this game too. Lore's player will know what I'm gonna get at if I end up picking Korin. Korin Yuki is his name.
Korin?
Korin, Korin.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I know what you're picking at.
You may not. I don't think you ever played that game that me and Jason play, so.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of.
No. Yes, Karin, here, take this. It's a voucher and proof that you're an envoy for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Hey, Sal, what did you give me exactly? The item before. It was just like, what am I entering it in my inventory, I guess?
Oh, are you talking about the ticket that Zashi gave you?
No, the scrap. the scrap metal?
Oh, so yeah, it's basically just it's just a box of spare metals. So essentially, it just has it has like 10 ounces of copper, iron, and steel in it. Plus, just your general tools like a screwdriver, a few wrenches, and
Yeah.
a hammer, pinning hammer. So.
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where to put it on my equipment here.
Yeah, if there's
It's all new to me.
yeah, if it's not on there, I'll just homebrew the item and toss it on you. I don't. That's probably one of those things that the nice thing about D&D Beyond, you can make a lot of stuff, but the bad thing about D&D Beyond is that if it's not in there, you have to make it. So it's no big deal. I'll have to jot that
I'll just
note.
make a note.
Give me a sec here. Put my DM notes. Make scrap or make metal collection for lore. There we go. All right, I got my DM notes there. All right, anything else for Hanma here?
I don't think so for now. Though I'll turn to Belzak. After we move away from her. Belzak, does that seem like a good deal at all?
Are you talking about for the half-blade?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Oh. Okay. Well, you seemed excited about it as well. Not that I'm really good at picking up your emotions. So I wasn't sure if you were about to get really angry and attack.
No. I'm excited because I actually would like a set, but you asked for it, so I was honestly going to pitch in to try and get you it now, but I don't have that much gold.
Yes, it seems to be our plight as people here, new people here. Which is why I was trying to angle on invention. But if a good resource of scrap metal too, I might be able to make some more work. But for now, hopefully our fortunes will improve upon the Colosseum if there is money to be made there.
I guarantee you there is.
So, are you still needing those spoons?
I don't need them right now, but
Fair enough.
I was just given a nice amount of scrap stuff here too. I can be able to use these for all sorts of neat little items.
Alrighty, well, let's go find the others. I'm not sure where they ran off to. They said something about a scroll.
Yeah, I think I found I'm pretty sure I put a scroll place on this map, so I'll move this group down here. President put it in the actual freaking town center, but
Lunum is joining us.
I don't know if they weren't joining you. I was the only person that they did stats. They didn't talk to Hanma.
No, that's true.
I didn't
At
have
some
any
point-
specific thing to say to Hanma,
Oh,
but
okay.
I also did not leave to join them where they were going.
Oh,
specifically.
Never mind. I will toss you back. Hiya! Over 400 feet. Jesus. Oh, I made this map too huge. Lesson learned.
At some point during this 6-hour trek to the other side of the town, I would hope that I figured out that I reeked and probably had more than a few wine stains and a prestidigitation for myself looking.
Yeah, you would have been fine to take that much time.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
You always say something. Why would you not now?
it's an excellent question. You reek.
And yeah, I just use prestidigitation to clean myself up as we walk.
Fair enough.
That spell pays for itself.
Most free things do.
So we located a scroll shop, yes?
Yeah, just a little outside one that they set up shop in. Give me one sec here. I'm actually kind of curious here. I spelled
Makes
correctly.
hungry. That's mean.
It was too good of a pun to pass up. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to see how much these things you should go for. Okay. Wow, really?
Checking like prices scrolls.
Yeah, I usually just have players just make them and never really buy them. So the fact that someone's buying,
Unfortunately, as a wizard, I don't have the choice.
yeah, that's fair.
I need spells. It's going to cost me all of my money.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what other people's prices are real quick. Whew, all right, I might just knock that down. That's a, especially for a first level spell, that's a bit much. Okay.
I don't like
be
how
right back.
this sounds. That does not bode well for me in my present wealth.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the community at large is out to gouge its players' money. So, good lord, like, I'll be a little bit nicer about it at least. So yeah, you see, a sorceress there, and she's just kind of, with parchment, kind of just etching stuff in, saying it's like incantation, the words glow, and she just kind of goes, she kind of gives a nod of approval and rolls it up and throws a small piece of string to tie it up.
Hello, my good lady. I've heard around the market that you sell scrolls.
Indeed, welcome. I have various scrolls for various uses. What are you looking for, dear?
Well, I'm mostly looking to fill out my spell book a bit. Was hoping I could browse your selection and see if anything, fits my current repertoire.
Indeed, indeed. Coin's always welcome here, and as well as my talents. Tell me, what are you looking for? A charm spell, perhaps a suggestion, an illusion spell, perhaps?
I was thinking perhaps something, well, I suppose you could say my tastes are rather eclectic. I typically prefer spells that sort of supplement my rather unusual combat style. Things that might, say, grant me invisibility or allow me to cast a magic missile that never misses, that sort of thing.
She nods and goes, "One second, dear." And she kind of puts up a large bag and unfolds it, and it's like, "Okay, so tell me again. You said a magic missile that always hits its target." She puts one out, an invisibility scroll, and she puts that one out. And what was else?
While they're having this conversation, can I duck around a corner?
Yeah.
I just want to duck around a corner, just somewhere where I'm out of sight.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability.
Okay.
And give myself Eagle Splendor on myself.
Spicy.
Oh god.
And then I'm going to come back.
Well, let's start there. The spare coin I've got in my pocket is limited at the moment. How much would each of these run?
Well, these are my ones that I can usually get done in a matter of minutes without using up too much of my talent. So let's say 30 each gold.
30 each. One for magic missile and one for invisibility. That sounds perfect. Since you specialize in making these, do you happen to sell fine paper and ink that one might need to transcribe them?
Ah, I'm glad that you brought that up. I knew it was a good idea that I actually kept some of that. She pulls out just basically a small leather-bound cover that inside has a inkwell that's attached on the inside and a feather pin and a couple of loose pieces of parchment. She's like, yeah, I can part with this for maybe 5 silver.
This is for the quill and ink.
Quill, ink, and fine parchment, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And it's also bound to where, so basically it encapsulates itself. So there's stuff that kind of makes it to where it doesn't go completely flat. There's stoppers. So that way the ink bottle that's on the inside doesn't get crushed. So it keeps everything nice and secure without crushing everything in the middle.
Alright, so that's 60 gold and 5 silver, you said?
Yes.
Alright, that sounds excellent. And I pay the woman.
Thank you, dear. And she kind of puts it in a pouch. And Argus. So I take it by the time the transaction completes, you come back.
Yeah. Like, oh, that was easy.
What were you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. Why you? Nothing. Why?
Alright, did you need anything while we're here?
Can't think of anything I do.
Okay. Well, thank you for the scrolls.
Anytime.
Kestrel just keeps glancing at Argus, looking very confused.
As we're walking away, be like, there was no negotiation. No, like, you didn't need. I thought I was gonna have to seduce that one.
Well, has that ever worked in the past? This is
Yes.
before I met
Oh,
you,
no.
because I do not.
Look, I have a new thing I wanted to try out, but fine, it's fine.
Well, we could go back and you could try to seduce her and maybe she'll pay you.
Maybe later.
Alright, let's go find the others. That was quite quick.
All right. Anything else you guys need to do in town before you embark into the wilds?
I'm good.
That was all for me.
Would there be anyone around here that would have like animal pelts or anything?
Yeah, actually, there is.
I want to go there.
Okay. Take it. Let's see here. That's kind of more food. There's my pelt guy at? I know I put one in. That's bread. Oh, that one. Oh, well, right there, duh. Yeah, I'm just trying to find a good spot. Okay. All right, so we'll move you down over here. Have a random guy come over here.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have anything that might have come from a wolf?
He goes, wolf pelt. Yeah, I mean, my hunters come and bring that in almost on a weekly basis.
How much would one of those run me?
No, not much, depending on the quality. What are you looking for? Gray wolf, dire wolf,
Probably a gray wolf.
gray wolf? Well, I could probably part with, how many do you need? 1, 2, 5?
Just one.
One? Yeah, he pulls one out. He's like, well, this one was a recent kill that came in the other day. Probably sell this one to you for probably a good solid 5 silver.
I'll take it.
Done.
All right. Pleasure doing business. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
And I'll go back and rejoin the group.
Okay. All right. Anything else, folks?
attach that to like my armor somehow, just to have it on me?
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably just fasten it to whatever you're wearing, depends on how you want to fasten it. I mean, you guys will have plenty of time to do that, to wherever you need to. So just figure out how you want to attach it and just let that work.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
All right. Anything else?
Just to clarify something. Earlier when I was buying paper and ink, I just want to clarify this. The way wizard transcribing spells work is that there is a price, like a cost, entailed for doing it that requires like specific paper and ink, which is what I was looking to buy. And I wanted to clarify that according to the player handbook, it requires like 50 gold per spell level in paper and ink. And you charge me 5 silver, so I just want to like.
Yeah, but remember, you guys are in a town where they deal with this stuff on a daily basis, where they're not going to run out of that. So
I can just check off that the 150 gold I would have had to pay to transcribe the spells is covered.
So the way I see it is this way: is that you're 3rd level and you would have had that spell book, correct?
Well, I mean, I could have learned that spell, but I don't have it because I chose different spells.
Okay, so this is the question I'm asking: are you more concerned about the paper and pen set that you just picked up, or are you more concerned about the stuff for your actual spells that would have cost money?
I'm not concerned about the components to cast the spells. I am concerned about the cost to transcribe the spells into my spell book.
Okay. Let me think here, because that's kind of the problem that I have with running with characters going into the 3rd level, is that if you were 1st level, we probably would have needed to do that, but since you have some adventuring experience, the thing I'm trying to figure out at this point is you pay the cost of the spells, but then you're telling me that you want to try to figure out if there's a cost associated for transcribing said scroll.
It's not a cost associated. It's actually part of the class. Like, if you look up wizard, like for your spell book, I can expand my spell book because I'm a wizard. So if I get a spell scroll, I can add it to my spell book, which means I can cast it when I want. But it comes with a cost of 2 hours per spell level and 50 gold per spell level. So
that part.
If I spend 2 hours, I can copy my magic missile spell into my spell book, and then I will know the spell forever. But it also costs me 50 gold pieces, representing the costs of paper, ink, as I experiment and try to like figure out like the basic like design of the spell.
So that's what I'm kind of getting at. So I'm trying to figure out if I give you the scroll and at that cost, because people keep putting it in as like 50 gold for the scroll. So that's where I was kind of going, well, I thought I kind of covered that when I sold you the scroll for that, so that way when you transcribed it, it does that. But you're telling me that you're wondering if there's an additional cost on top of that, correct?
Yeah, because like I figured 30 gold was the cost of the scroll itself, and then I would still have to pay for, the experimental materials. The paper and ink to transcribe it into my book and all of that sort of stuff.
Let's do it for simplicity's sake. I will, since those were 1st level spells.
Well, invisibility is the 2nd level.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit, you're right. So for invisibility, you'll have to pay the cost. So for anything at 2nd level or 2nd level or higher, I'll have you pay the 50 gold cost. For 1st level or a cantrip, just pay the cost of the scroll.
Okay, so I'm just going to say that I subtract 100 gold from my inventory, and I purchase the materials necessary for invisibility, and magic missile is just covered. Right?
Yeah. Because to me, my understanding is that cantrips are kind of just flimsy spells that you can just cast without really expending anything. So I figure the cost of the scroll should cover a cantrip and even some 1st level spells. But once you got sort of racking up like 2nd, 3rd, and spells going up, yeah, you definitely should pay to have those, since you're going to be keeping those spells going forward.
Okay, actually, I can't do that with cantrips. I can only do it with 1st level spells or higher.
Oh, really?
According to the class, unless you want to be like, hey, you can.
Yeah, cantrips are fine. I'll even do a solid for a cantrip, a non-combat cantrip. If you want to just even spend the time just to learn it and then write it, that's fine too. I'm fine with doing cantrips like that, because to me, cantrips, unless they're attack spells, really are just more of kind of fluff spells for the most part. Like most of them are just there to be like, hey, you could do said thing to help out somewhere.
Fair enough. Okay. That works for me then.
Alrighty, anything else in town?
No, Linum's eager to make progress.
I'm eager to kill. Onward, Chiefs.
All right, let me load up the next map then.
Linum is also trying to both rationalize and ignore the fact that everybody really is just excited about murder.
Murder doesn't excite me.
I'm glad to hear that, Laura.
I'm not excited about murder. I'm just excited about having something to take my mind off of things. And
I'm
murder-
excited about murder.
All right. So you guys spend about 2 days going through the woods without really any sort of consequence. You know, it's nice. It's been a nice slow pace for the most part with what you guys need to do for, you know, getting outside the town. You kind of expect what it is from coming outside a major town, not really in terms of any large vegetation. You know, you see a couple of maybe squirrels and chipmunks and things like that, but aside from actual large fauna and stuff, you guys actually don't really come across that until you get 3 days in. Throughout the process, there won't be any encounters for the first 2 days, but is there anything you guys want to do in your downtime as you're progressing through the woods?
All my downtime transcribing spells.
Okay.
6 hours in total.
While we're traveling, I want to switch my binding for my weapons from my shield to my glaive.
Okay.
Also, the log just started working, by the way.
Yeah, I just freaking told it to and decided to wake up.
I at one point want to have a conversation with Tatanka.
Okay. Would you like to do that on night 1 or 2?
Night 1.
Okay. Did you want to do it with like a campfire or as you're walking, or tell me how you like to approach Tatanka?
It's just as we're walking. Just, this isn't like a private thing. I just wanted to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and approach on day 1 as you guys are leaving Platea.
So, Mr. Tonka, I knew that when we first met that you were talking with Lore about blacksmithing and that sort of thing. So creating things out of metal and that sort of thing. That's what you do, yeah?
I would say I'm fairly proficient at it, yes.
Well, wonderful. As we're going along and we're, getting to know one another, it's, you see, my patron, who has put us on this quest, has asked for us to find fey weapons or create weapons out of silver or what have you in order to make into things that they would be able to use in their whatever martial things they have going on back home. I was wondering if that would be a sort of thing that you would be able to help me with.
I think I could take a swing at it.
It's because it's a hammer. Okay.
Sure, laugh at her puns.
Well, wonderful. I very much appreciate that. And if we come across any supplies and there's anything that that we might need crafted like that, I'll certainly avail you of your talents if you're willing.
I will do anything I can do to help.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that.
Of course.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to do on day 1 of your journey throughout the woods?
Golden.
Lunum is you can probably see a little bit more at ease and happier than before. He's adjusting slowly to all that was going on in Platea, but being out in the woods makes him a lot more comfortable.
Tatanka is also a lot more comfortable being out here away from so many people.
Argus is oblivious to everything because no justification.
Since we're going through it all, Kestrel seems to be a lot quieter and more withdrawn than usual, and has just like stopped speaking, especially after the buzz from her leftover drinking binge wore off a couple days ago, or a couple of hours ago.
And Belzak is just not used to being out in the open woods, just walking around. I'm very cautious, kind of just keeping an eye out for anything because it's very unfamiliar for me. It reminds me of being out on the open sea.
Okay. So as you guys progress through the first day through the woods, nothing, like I said, nothing weird happens. You're still, I wouldn't say that you're close to society, but, because of the proximity and the loud sounds from the town, it scared away a lot of folks from being in the woods. There's a carriage that passes by every once in a while, but it's just, either a merchant or family. Nothing extravagant. Anything you guys want to do the first night you camp out?
We should probably set up some sort of watch. So, I suppose I'll watch first. Oh wait, we've got people who don't sleep, don't we?
I'll take the first watch, she can take the second, and I'll transcribe spells while I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm also
Assuming
happy.
Law is alright with that. What was it?
I was saying I'm also happy to take a watch, as I'll likely be staying up to study anyway.
Well, okay. Well then, this is what I'm going to do. If Kestrel, Law, and Lunim are going to work on the watches, then I'm going to...
That's fair.
I'm all about my beauty sleep,
I
so
still have my blanket from the inn.
I do.
At some point in the middle of the night, I would very much like to sneakily creep over to him and steal it from him.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Let's see. Thing is 21.
All right. Argus, roll me a perception check with disadvantage if you're sleeping.
Disadvantage?
Yeah, you're asleep.
Okay, that's a 10.
Yeah, you don't hear her coming, and then Kestrel, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand to see if you can yank it off him without him noticing.
7.
Okay, roll me that perception and see if you don't stir from your sleep.
Oh,
With disadvantage, bitch.
rolled a 3, okay?
Rolled a 19 and a 7.
Got it. So I go to grab it, I guess, and he starts waking up, so I just grab it and yank it off of him and like roll him across the ground.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just gonna throw it over my shoulders and go back to my watch.
I'm going to rummage through my pack and pull out another blanket that I had stolen off of her from another inn. Another time. And go back to sleep.
God damn it.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, all right. Any other shenanigans your guys' first night?
I do believe that will be all.
All right. First night passes, you guys might have heard it, maybe a lone wolf howling in the distance, but no actual action happening that night. Sun rises. And day 2 begins. Anything you guys like to do on day 2?
So do we have a marching order? Like, what do we? We're on our feet, right?
Yeah, you guys don't have any mounts, as far as I was told or saw in your inventory.
So what's our modus operandi here?
I likely would have found myself in the front.
If nobody else would, I would probably be acting as a scout.
I'll go ahead and hold up the rear.
Okay, well, go ahead and move your guys' pieces on the board. Can you guys see your stuff?
Probably next to Tatanka with my legs going as speedily as hers.
Your chicken legs.
It's just a loading on mine, but I don't know what's up.
Okay, let me try to.
Are we moving? Like, are we assuming right to left or left to right on here?
We're gonna go right to left. Let's. All right, I'm gonna try to have stuff reload here real quick. Well, don't move your pieces quite yet. Just kind of put yourself in the order. Laura, are you able to? Is the map loaded for you now?
Yep.
Okay.
So wait, are we moving like the right is going forward?
So yeah, so going that way is going forward. So going right to left is going forward. So just put yourself in the order as if you were going that direction.
Okay, I misinterpreted that then.
Yep, sorry.
I guess I'll be closer. Sorry.
All right, day 2 of the march. Anything you guys want to do on day 2?
Real quick, I'm going to give myself a vigilant blessing, so my next initiative roll I have with advantage.
Okay.
At the beginning of each day, I guess I should specify this. At the beginning of each day, I cast mage armor on myself and then re-up it 8 hours in as necessary.
Okay. All right, so nothing really happens on day 2. Again, more carriages pass you by, merchants and nobility and whatnot. Maybe a couple of, horse people on horses just riding by with dispatches, but nothing outside the normal. Just another day out. Get to night 2. Anything around night 2?
Sal, when I'm in camp,
Huh?
whenever Lore's in camp, like during these travel days, he's working on his he's working on a contraption to help wash dishes.
Okay. So
Schematics, basically. He's still working it out.
okay, so you're just kind of drawing it. Go ahead and roll me an insight check on those 2 nights. Yeah, I'm trying to. Can't really see anything.
That's fine. I'm just being a baby.
Do this. Roll me an insight and an investigation roll in. All right. So with your insight, you're really not entirely too sure because of the fact that you don't do a lot of dishwashing yourself, so you're not entirely sure, what would be specifically make things more efficient. But with investigation, you do realize that, you do need to have a way to put water into a contraption and push it out at a quick enough motion to where it can run stuff off. And then go ahead and roll the same. Go ahead and roll those again for night 2. So again, you're not entirely too sure what what would be super helpful if you need to. If there's certain chemicals that need to be pushed in, or if it needs to have some sort of other thing to help move stuff off of the items inside of it. But you're starting to get the idea that it might require some sort of maybe mechanism that needs to pull water into it. So you're at least getting some basic, you're getting some basic ideas of what it might need, but in terms of what it needs specifically to keep it going, you're still kind of struggling with that due to your lack of experience in the kitchen.
Have any of you washed dishes before?
I most certainly have.
I have as well.
I know that sometimes I have dishes that are dirty, and then for some reason they are not later. So is that a yes?
No.
For the inn that we stay at back there, I'm coming up with a contraption that might be able to help him expedite washing of dishes.
Okay.
So you're just trying to make
Well, what exactly do you do when you wash dishes?
The point is to clean the dishes off. Like, you see like particles of basically foreign particles on the utensils, and you're trying to rid those and make it so that it's clean again, so that it can be used to put more foreign objects on. So that's the point. And in doing so, the method that you use is essentially you use some semblance of a soap or some sort of agent to clean it. And you basically scrub everything off, rinse it off so that that cleaning agent is no longer on there, and then leave it someplace to dry.
You're overcomplicating it. All you need to do is this, and I pull out a fork, I stick it in the dirt, I lift it up, covered in dirt, and then I cast prestidigitation, I can't bloody say the word, and clean it all off. There are plenty of magics that already do this sort of thing. If you're looking for a contraption to do it, all you need to do is mimic this particular usage of this particular spell.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I use spells like that already to clean metal myself. So what if I were able to make a machine that basically was able to be used by people that cast that sort of spell on it to clean it?
You would want to ensure that you're not simply casting the spell, but this particular usage of the spell, because this particular spell can do a number of things. And you certainly wouldn't want to cause all of your utensils to suddenly taste like chicken.
That actually does not sound too bad.
You're right, that's actually a pretty good idea, and I feel like we should write this down for later. But
I feel like something horrible was just said.
chicken-flavored spoons are excellent for dieters.
Well, with the magic, you could
Are
possibly...
horrible.
I mean, couldn't you limit the use of the spell? Which would make it simpler anyways for common people to use.
Precisely. So you put the object in, you hit a button, it makes it squeaky clean, and it comes out the other side.
And this would change the world.
Correct.
This would help people so extremely. Interesting. Well, I know some of magic. I don't think that spell is... I actually don't know what it was on my spell.
Might I suggest that you request Kestrel's help with said spell?
So, all along the rest of our journey, I just randomly dirty things and clean them up, mostly Argus.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I observe that, but I actually ask about the arcane uses of creating attempting to replicate that spell. Only the small part of the spell that would do what we're looking for it to do, Sal. I know this isn't going to take a week. It's going to take a long time, but this is just something that I'm...
Sure.
I would encourage you to perhaps use some sort of detect magic sort of spell while you watch as I use it, and sort of see if you can watch the fluctuations in the magic, yada yada yada, when I use it to cast a cleaning version of it rather than, say, the sparks I cast in order to let August introduce himself.
And
Yeah,
and my advice from a research standpoint is to practice the soiling on somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just make, like, you can have me, I could probably, like, do Arcana to kind of figure stuff out, Sal.
Okay, that's fine.
If you want me to do arcane research,
Yeah, we'll go ahead and if that's the route you want to take instead, yeah, well, instead of doing, we'll still have you do a couple rolls to make sure that you're on track of stuff. But if we want to do the arcane route for this, then yeah, we'll have you do some Arcana rolls for that.
Well, I mean, I'm an artificer. I'm going to do both. Like, I'm going to be mechanical and arcane.
Sure.
Because that's what my dog is.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Anything else happening on night 2? Okay. You guys make it through night 2. Those of you who are on watch, again, you hear sounds of wolves in the background. They sound a little closer this time, but not anywhere close to the vicinity. Like, they still sound like they're pretty off in the background, but they do sound a bit closer than what they did the night before.
If anybody who was on watch while I was asleep might have noticed that Lunan was howling just really, really, really quietly in his sleep. Just ooh.
Next morning, after hearing that, Kesha approaches you, pets him on the head, and says, "You're bloody adorable."
Was anyone else able to sleep last night?
I'm like rubbing the sleep out of my eyes. I just thought, that was the best sleep I've had since I came here, to be honest.
Does anybody sell plushies of you? Because I want one.
All right. Day 3. You guys can now move left to right. So,
whoever then leaded just want to like.
Well, we're all the way on the right, so mission accomplished.
yeah. So as you get to this point, all of you go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, we're good at those. Is this just is this like a does something feel off perception check or just
15.
7. Good rolls tonight, everybody.
15.
20 for me total?
All right. Anyone with a 15 or over, you actually hear sounds of a couple of people just to the north of your position.
How far north? Like imminently, like bushes north?
Let's see here. Let's bring out my trusty. We're talking about good solid 85 feet from you.
Alright. Did anybody else hear that?
There's people around here.
Well, yes, there's 5 of you.
People? What? What? Where? Where? I don't see anybody.
I hear them to the north. Does it sound like there's anything? If, like, now that I know that they're there, if I listen more closely, can I make out any conversation or?
Yeah, you hear that there's a discussion going on. You're not entirely sure. You make out a couple words like, attacks and injuries and, plan, and that's all you can hear from this distance at least.
All right. Well, we need to have a well thought out plan on how to deal with these people.
I actually came prepared for this.
Have we been passing other travelers on the road as we've
gone
for a couple of days?
Yeah.
So it's not strange at all for there to be people here.
No. This is just the first time that you've actually heard. This is just one of the few times that you've actually heard of just a group of people in one specific area that aren't moving.
What time of day is this?
Probably mid-morning, like 9, 10-ish.
So what's everybody so surprised about? It's not as though we've been completely alone in this forest.
Just strange. I'm sorry, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to people just like kind of midday-ish stop being in the middle of nowhere doing nothing.
It's the best place to do nothing. It means nobody bothers you.
Well, too late for that. And I fly up.
Nope.
Bloody hell.
I'll follow him on the floor.
Well, I'm going to head up here and see if I can find like a perch or something that I can.
Yeah, I mean, this rocky alcove is probably a good 20, 30 feet up.
I will follow and I will attempt to not attract attention.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll kind of follow up here and just kind of stay off to the side. Try not to be like super noisy, but I just kind of want to stay off to the side. And if I get the feeling that they become hostile and start to attack, let me know. I want to do something before we start. Like I'm gonna have something prepped.
Sure.
What do I hear?
All right. So let's see
See
here.
up there, Val. This is not a League of Legends group.
God, it's been so long. I haven't heard that name. Okay, so you're 30 feet away, so you're probably in a good spot. So as you eavesdrops and you can hear that this gentleman right here is talking about how much he has disliked moving on this trail, especially this next section up ahead, just because of just the frantic attacks. This person here is just eager, just itching for a fight because they're trying to, they're trying to prove their mettle in Keyzor before they end up in the Coliseum. This poor sap here, is tending to some wounds. His arm's wrapped up in a bandage as well as part of his leg. And then these two are just talking about business and how poor it's gotten with the bandit attacks in the area.
I'll relay the messages back to Kestrel using my message cantrip.
Okay.
They just seem to be a bunch of people who are just
So it's a bunch of
on
travelers.
camp.
Yeah, it's a bunch of travelers, according to August. They're making camp.
Well, let's go. Do you guys want to go say hey, or you just want to move on?
We can always kill them later.
He said we can always kill them later.
Well, why would we do that?
Well,
I-
first of all, if we're going to go talk to them, don't say that I said that in front of them.
I do like it more than a couple of our previous plans, which were kill them now.
Those were my favorite plans.
I know.
Oh my.
All right, Lunam. What would you like to do then?
How far are we from our destination?
So you guys are still probably about a 3 to 4 day march from to where you need to go. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're in no rush. We can stop to help, potentially.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. It's lovely to come across another group of adventurers around here.
Huh? What? It's a talking bird, man.
I come about around the corner openly and just walk up behind August.
Well, my friends and I were just traveling along the road. That's right here on the road, and we heard your voices carrying, and figured we would introduce ourselves.
This guy here, he's kind of in shock. He's then kind of like, boss, what do we do, boss? There's a lot of them, and we ain't in too good shape.
Boss, what is it to do? Boss, I'm just coming along the road and just wanted to say hi.
Well, pardon my friend here. We haven't had a very easy road heading east. first there was some bandit attacks, and then the wolves in this area got pretty mean and kind of banged up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I heard a lot of wolves very close to my camp last night. It made it hard for me to sleep as well.
So where you come from, Platea?
That's great.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's not where I'm coming from. I have no idea.
Yes, Argus, that's where we came from.
Yes, that is where we came from.
Ah, how's the road that way? I hope it's a little bit easier going.
We've had no complaints so far.
It's pretty boring, really.
Well, it's not too
Indeed.
surprising. We've been the local guard patrols this road pretty frequently, so a lot of bandits tend to stay off of it.
But I heard you complaining about bandits earlier. Where are the bandits at if the guards are along the road?
Well, that's the damnedest thing about it. We ended up getting attacked, and the city guard chased him into the forest, and then all of a sudden we heard screaming, and then we kind of made a book for once we heard both sides screaming.
Some bold bandits then, I suppose.
Sorry, the bandits and the guards were screaming, you said?
Yeah, didn't stay too long after that.
Sounds like the wolves got them then.
That's
More-
kind of what it sounds like.
Or the Colosseum. What's the deal with the Colosseum?
She comes out. Coliseum is where we all get together for the annual Monarch Mayhem. And the prize is a chance to become the top of the crag, king of the mountain. And with that comes perks. I was going to compete, but then we heard that the treasure hunt was in full swing, and so we decided to abandon that notion.
Well, when is this event supposed to be happening?
Oh, last we checked, they were waiting for participants at this point. It was already supposed to start this week, but with everyone going to damn Platea, they decided to postpone until they get enough people to compete.
How many more people do they need?
Last time I checked, they only had 10, and they need a full 30.
Sounds involved. And which one of these people seems to be the leader of the three people in front of us?
This guy.
The man with the glorious mustache.
Indeed.
When in doubt, the leader is always the one with the glorious mustache.
And
Mustachio.
all of
Mustache.
the knives as well, I suppose.
I'm sorry, say that again?
And all of the knives as well. He's got no less than 5.
Yeah, holy crap. That picture, like, he is plastered in knives.
Yeah. He mentioned the both sides screamings thing. Does he seem to be telling the truth about that?
You can make an insight check.
Would love to. 16. I'm not rolling the greatest.
For the record, I want to be listening for anything suspicious. I'm always cautious approaching people.
Oh, that's 16 insight.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that he's telling the truth, that with the inflection and the tone and the way he delivered it, you absolutely know that this guy heard what he heard, saw what he saw, and booked it and didn't turn back.
All right.
Yeah, he kind of opens up going, yeah, we're on our way just to deliver our normal supplies and then try to see if there's any talk about how to compete for that quest that everyone's talking about. But I don't know how likely that's going to be. One of our rangers in the back got bit by a wolf not too long ago, and poor wife's trying to bandage him up best we can. Yes, sneaky things. I tried to keep an eye out, and it ended up getting a bite of my arm and leg. Luckily, guards and the bandits were able to draw its attention away before I lost a limb.
Guards, bandits, wolves. Got it.
That cartographer told me that this place was supposed to be very avoidable of these things.
Well,
It's all along the main road.
Well, usually we've been traveling this road for months and we've never been attacked once. In fact, this was the preferred route up until a couple days ago. We're not sure what happened here. Something emboldened these wolves.
Maybe there's someone or something around that causes the predators to be more bold.
Argus, are you being annoying again?
First of all, how dare you?
I'm the first to blame him for things. Somehow I do controlling the wolves.
Oh, come on, people. It's a joke.
So you've stepped closer to me, Arcus. Are you implying something, sir?
No.
I point to my ears. I'm a fox, sir. I'm not a wolf. I'm not part of this.
All predators are the same.
I have an idea. Maybe we could help them, and they could give us money to help them. We could protect them on the road. We are a very fearsome lot.
They seem to be going the opposite direction of us.
We could take. What are you talking about? They're going to the Colosseum, are they not?
No, they're going back to where we came from.
Oh, that's a shame. Let's not help them then.
Well then,
It's decided.
bye.
Yep, take care.
Honestly, I'm fully okay to just leave after that.
It was lovely meeting you all and exchanging pleasantries, which we did not do, but here we are. And good luck on that whole not dying thing. You're doing pretty smashing at that.
I feel like I should help in some way. Did you say one of them was hurt, Sal?
Yeah, this poor guy up here got chewed on a little bit.
Cool. I volunteer to help with a spell if they will allow it.
Yeah. They take any help they can get. None of them are. They're basically just treating wounds the old-fashioned way with bandages and stitches. So.
Yeah, I'll hit this guy with a cure wounds.
Okay. Yeah,
Let me see if I need to make a roll, or let me see here.
How did they describe how big these wolves were?
No, they didn't.
From this fellow's injuries, if I go over with Laura, am I able to tell?
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check.
20 total.
Yeah, you can tell that whatever got this guy was big. The jaw marks and how deep it was, and the fact that he was barely able to get keep one of his limbs. And he's not a thin fellow. His arms are actually pretty thick, muscular. So whoever got to him, and you could tell by just how quickly it was. It wasn't like something like it was pulled apart. It was like something snapped really quick on it, and it was powerful, and it ended up taking a chunk out of him.
I healed him for 8, Sal.
Okay. Yeah, he unwrapped some of the bandages on his leg, and he's like, at least I can walk again.
I'll help Laura in, not in casting spells, but just like a medicine approach and like checking his bandages, because I know we can't like fully bring him back. I mean, we could, but I think it might be a little more helpful to make sure his bandages are good and all that.
Sure, just roll a medicine check.
13.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like for the most part that they're using sterile bandages and that they're just applying some sort of herbal concoction to help with the with making sure he doesn't catch any sort of illness from having open wounds and stuff. So there's not much you can do aside from offering some advice as to what type of herbs might help out to speed up the healing and loosen the scarring, or lessen the scarring. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
That's all. I'm just trying to be nice. just move on our way if we want.
Okay.
I guess we know what to look out for then. That cartographer lied to me.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for them cartographers.
I was a cartographer, which I could dabble in from time to time. I'd be very truthful. Gotta let people know what's going on out and about.
Alrighty.
Have at it, buddy.
Lunum is very quiet for the rest of the day.
All right. So as you guys continue to travel down this route, you guys gonna get back into marching order. So as you guys get here in this area, go ahead and make me another perception check.
Is this like real time / space?
Yeah, you guys are in normal time and space.
Okay, so 10 feet down the road, 12.
25.
You said perception, right?
Yeah.
17.
6.
Okay. Anyone with over a 15, you know that directly north of you, you hear some sort of sign. You can tell that there's a difference in how the trees sound north of you. Like it doesn't sound quite right. For those of you with a successful perception check, go ahead and make me a survival check.
Does it sound like something's coming from the trees in front of us?
No, to the north of you. You hear something coming up from the woods north. Yeah.
17.
Fuck, that's 12.
You said survival, right?
Yep.
8.
All right. So we had one person over a 12, I heard.
Yep, 17.
Oh, yeah, 17. Perfect. All right. Yeah, you know, Kestrel, that something seems very off about what's north of you, that trees usually, the sound of the winds through the trees shouldn't be making that specific sound. Like something's off about the sounds to the north from where this opening is to the north of you.
Is Lumen actually like that close to the north part?
I had just kind of dropped my token
Oh, okay.
a little bit ahead of the rest of the group.
Yeah, I was trying to do the same. Like I'm just keeping my distance from the group at this point. But if you're up there, I'm going to kind of quietly shift up behind you, put my hand on your shoulder, and sort of pull you back and push you toward the rest of the group. And I'm going to put a finger in front of my lips, and then I'm going to approach the opening up there, trying to do so quietly. And with great caution.
Okay. You're going to try to sneak up there then?
I am.
Okay.
Before she leaves, I'm going to move my Vigilant Blessing from myself to her so she has advantage on initiative.
Okay. All right.
25 for stealth.
Good lord. Damn. All right.
That's my shtick.
I guess.
That's what we like to see.
It's what I do.
Oh, it must be this one. Okay. I'm like, what the hell? I know I made it. All right. What do I got here? All right. So as you proceed with that, I highly doubt I'm going to make this roll with a damn 25. Yeah, all right. That's 3.
I like that.
Not even with that, so yeah, as soon as, yeah, I mean, that 20 was nice, but that 25 was even sweeter. So as soon as you move up about a good solid 50 feet, you can see in the clearing that there's, you know, some huge amount of webbing up here and some things twitching in the webbing.
Oh, lovely.
Again?
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
I am going to very, very quietly murmur under my breath. There's a bit of a spider problem. and cast message toward Argus.
Spiders. Apparently there are spiders here as well.
Would we prefer to sidestep them, or do you guys want to check it out?
That cartographer definitely lied.
If I'm being honest, if we're trying to get there quickly, it might be best to just avoid it.
I mean, all I heard that there are spiders there, so probably need to avoid it. It's probably easy enough to avoid it. There's no reason
We're just
to
gonna
like, go
spiders
up there.
to attack these people who are healing from their recent attack.
Well, they should have not camped around where the spiders are.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like it's their problem to fix, not ours.
Do these spider webs like appear to travel a fair distance alongside the road?
No, I mean, from what you can tell, that the webbing is pretty much on the baseline of the tree, which, good lord, I'm going to have to zoom out quite a bit. So from the baseline of where the tree is to where you guys are, it's almost 200 feet.
So it's a ways in. So I'm going to back out and return to the group. Looks like there is probably a large nest of some sort of arachnid thing building webs. We can probably avoid it should we just follow the road.
Well, as long as they weren't like eating people or anything, I don't suppose it should be a problem.
I did not see people being actively eaten.
Yeah, you just saw something in webbing pretty much twitch, and that's about all you can make out.
Yeah, I saw twitching web sacks.
How large was it?
How large was it?
Something that could hold a medium-sized character or creature.
Something that might have been generally human-sized.
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
horrible.
Great, so it's massive.
Well,
Lore.
it could be a large wolf in an egg or in a web cocoon waiting to be eaten.
Could have been another one of these robot people.
Wait,
Lore. What if that is the person you were tasked to find?
well, I thought it would be much closer to the arena, but perhaps not. There's someone in a webbing. Should we not investigate? I know that's not our mandate, but
Tasked to find what?
oh, I just made a side deal to make us some money on the side. Well, not really money, but it was a good deal. Is that what you called it, Balzac?
Yeah, and it wasn't so much for us as for himself, but he basically would get a really cheap piece of awesome armor.
It would also improve our likening to her, I'm sure.
So who's this person we're supposed to be retrieving for her?
It's someone who's highly disappointing.
Let's see.
The guy's name's Corin.
Are you certain that whoever is missing him wants him back if he's highly disappointing?
Well, you seem to be sticking around with Argus just fine.
Wow.
Also, I was in my own space there for a minute. Did somebody say something?
Just go back to your little.
Okay, so we're continuing on then.
Final decision. Group decision. Democracy. Huzzah. Who votes that we go into the scary spider lair? Raise your hands.
I slowly raise my hand.
I raised my hand.
Anybody else? That's two.
I'll raise my hand. It's like 250 gold he'll be saving.
I abstain.
Is useful get a vote?
August.
Oh, is it up to me then?
Do you want to kill spiders or move on?
I think if I
I don't know,
abstain,
continue
then-
being what? Disappointing?
He's the one who called you that. I'd say more annoying than anything.
That I can live with.
Well, it looks like the eyes have it then, unless anybody strongly disagrees.
Can we inform the people at the camp? It surely won't take more than like 10 minutes. We barely left. Also, they might send people to help.
How far away are those people from us now?
Probably about the same amount of distance, I think.
Like 200 feet. That's 200 feet away.
We're right there.
August, just go take a little flap in their general direction and send them a message.
Fine. I will fly over, and as I'm flying over, oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but there are gigantic fuck-off spiders about 150 feet to the west of here.
Picked a really bad place to camp.
As soon as they hear that, they start packing up immediately. It's like, oh, I guess rest time's over.
The flyby message.
They also set up a pretty extravagant camp, too.
They did.
Well, they had some injured people, so might as well make themselves comfortable.
Right then, so marching order, who's going first? I will go scout, I suppose.
If we're gonna do that, let me see. I might have an idea.
I can go towards the front.
I'm gonna walk up to Kestrel, and I'm going to hand her a flask of, what is it called? I know I have it. It's a flask of lantern oil. That's what it is. If you find a good place to put this, lay it out there, and we can possibly do some damage.
Just leave the flask as a whole, or am I spreading it everywhere?
Spray it, break it, do whatever is most advantageous.
Got it.
Use at your
Alright.
discretion.
I'm going back in.
I will
Hopefully
trail, but
the
I'm gonna
rest
trail.
are following.
Yeah, as I say, we'll trail in, but I don't want to go too close. I want to kind of hang back. Assuming, you said it was 200 feet. I'm assuming that was relayed, so I don't know,
Yeah.
100 feet away would probably be, I would say, acceptable.
So I'm going to try and be quiet and stealthy and go and take a closer look to the inside.
Okay.
Want a new stealth roll.
Yeah, it's going to do a new one since some time's passed.
Not great, not bad. 18.
Okay. Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm missing my 25.
We can do this like in Kilgoggin.
So yeah, you make it about halfway in to where the tree line is, and go ahead and make me a survival check because you hear something as you get about halfway in there.
11.
Nah, you're not entirely sure, so you don't pause.
Probably too distracted looking for where I should toss this flask of oil.
Yeah, so I think you probably make it about there for the... How far you guys are falling behind? Are you guys going to actually follow pretty closely or still far enough back?
I was thinking about 100 feet, not behind her, but from roughly where you said the 200-foot mark was. So what is it? We were back here.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess,
Yeah,
really
so-
200 feet? That's there.
well, from your original spot.
That is from the original spot. I backed up.
Oh,
I-
weird.
What was happening in my head is
It's
that I
not
would
perfect.
stay around the corner from where she is, and also be very careful not to step in any webs. So I'd like to be cognizant of that and kind of try to guide us through so that we don't draw more attention to us than we need to.
Yeah, it was about 150 to the middle of the room here.
Okay.
So she's I don't know, about 130, 120, 130 feet.
So, Kestrel, as you get about halfway in, you see some eyes starting to look at you with some growling sounds.
I think they know we're here, and I cast message back to Old August.
Hey guys, they know we're here.
And then I facepalm.
I'm going to just fly like in front of where Kestrel is. And say, they're here. I don't notice anything here to know that we're here, people. Or it's just me. Maybe it's just me.
I guess we're going forward.
Indeed. Right.
All right. Go ahead and before we start combat, go ahead and I'll let you guys roll a. That's weird. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
What is this? 11.
10.
23.
21.
Oh, wow.
I'm having the most ass rolls.
14.
All right. Anyone with a 12 or over knows that these are just not regular wolves. These wolves are much bigger and much more deadlier than normal, and
They're like regular wolves,
they're
only dire.
hey,
Wait, so these are wolves and not spiders.
yep.
Cool.
All right.
Correct correction, the spiders may have been eaten by the wolves.
All right.
Where was the human
Yeah, the wriggling sack.
killing them?
The wiggling sack. It's going to be over here.
If I am aware that they're wolves, I would have moved further forward. And also, is this human shaped? Wolf shaped?
That's human. That's kind of humanoid shaped in the sack over here.
And did we notice anything else as we walk into this area?
No,
Obviously, we see the eyes, but
no, not really. You just can tell that what you see is what you see in terms of it. But you can tell that this sack and this sack are not moving. Only this one in the corner.
What color are these wolves?
These ones here are kind of a dirt gray. Kind of like a dirt brown with some gray in it. So kind of close to a gray wolf, I guess.
Okay.
how far away would you say we legitimately are? Then are we actually using to scale?
Yeah, so like I got the tape here. So like if you're from like this guy, oops, pointer tool. So like from this guy here to Tatanka, it's roughly like 25 feet.
I mean, they haven't moved. Like we're like a standoff right now, right? Like nobody started anything, right?
Yeah, they're just growling pretty bad at you guys right now. Like you're invading their territory right now.
I'm growling like the fuck back. Yeah, I'm going to shift and growl at them.
Question really quick: would I happen to know any sounds or anything that may frighten dire wolves?
Go ahead and roll a survival check.
That would be a 14.
Yeah, you see me kind of hunched down with my ears and tail pointing up, and I look at the biggest one and growl at them
Okay,
very aggressively.
Okay, roll intimidation.
Hold on.
I take it I don't know their sound.
No, you're not entirely sure what the specific wolf breed would be afraid of specifically, especially ones of this size.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a gander here. I'll let him finish what he's doing, but I want to cast Minor Illusion and make a thunderbolt sound in the rocks over. Let's see what's. Sorry, I'm just using this for measurement. Yeah, so like over kind of by this tree, and sorry, be this like right here.
Okay.
I want to make the sound of like a thunderbolt, but not like wait till he's doing like done with his intimidation thing.
On the thing that I'm absolutely the worst at, I nat 20, so 18.
Oh,
You roll it with a natural 20.
all right. Well,
I was really hoping for the -1, the absolute.
worst. All right. Good Lord. All right.
No, it does fit well at the moment of
Yeah, that's Ryan here.
what's driving me.
No, that's fine. Let's do an insight then and see if that's gonna do anything. Yeah, it's smart enough to know that you're for business, so they're just kind of digging in and they're not making a move, but at the same time they're not exactly gonna go full out of the woods yet.
Can I just throwing somewhere?
Sorry, Kestra, I can't hear you. You're kind of cutting out again.
Oh, that's weird. Can I, as part of like, since we're not like actually in combat yet, can I throw the flask in the air and then hit it with a firebolt?
Yeah, go ahead and go and do a sleight of hand to see if you can arc it well enough while under some tense condition.
Okay, I'm gonna try and hit it like when it's just a little bit above their heads. Sleight of hand. 14.
Okay, yeah, that you can. It's an easy enough toss even under these conditions, and then, yeah.
Then firebolt.
Yeah, and go ahead and just do a standard Arcana check.
Arcana. 17.
Yeah, you even under slightly difficult conditions with being stress of being mauled, you manage to do that. Oil spills in this general area.
Quick question: can I time the lightning strike sound to come from the exploding vial?
You aren't coordinating the attack, and it's kind of going in real time. I mean, if you want to do it after she does that, then that would work, but I don't think you guys would have coordinated that in advance to do it at the same time.
Did the oil catch on fire or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your sleight of hand and Arcana check made it to where under normal circumstance, even under these intense circumstances, you're able to actually do what you need to in terms of just throwing it up and shooting it. So this entire area right now has just oil and fire just raining down.
I'm slowly but with intent moving forward. As this continues to progress. And I'd also like to make a check to see if I notice any other wolves than the ones that were immediately present to us originally.
In this area, this is all. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
$22.
No, as far as you can tell, this looks like one solid pack on its own, and it doesn't look like there's anything with this pack. It seems like these guys are coordinated within their own group.
They haven't made any moves after like having fire rain down.
Oh no, they moved back about a good solid 5 to 10 feet.
Okay.
Still moving forward.
Okay.
So at what point in time does this lightning bolt thing go off? Does it do anything? Like, have it's already happened?
I mean, your lightning bolt kind of puts it to where they're they're actually doing. They're kind of almost in a full retreat at this point. They're just trying to see if you're going to pursue them any further than that.
And are we seeing them being like really cautious and moving backwards?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like you can tell that they're definitely trying to just get out of harm's way now that the fire's kind of spreading out a little bit more in front of them.
I'm going to start approaching the moving web sack.
Okay.
And while that goes on, I'm gonna move to like right here, and I want to cast just a fireball, not aimed directly at them. I just kind of want to shoot it like right there ish, just something to kind of keep pushing them.
Okay.
For every step that they take back, I'm taking one forward.
Okay. Yeah, at that point they're just kind of they're escaping through the woods because the fire's starting to spread a little bit towards their direction. They don't want to be caught up in it.
Is the web sack still moving?
Oh yeah, it's wiggling.
I'm gonna pull out one of my short swords and slice it open.
Yep. And as you do, it doesn't take too much. There's a young female elf that comes out. She's just panting breathing. She's like, oh. Actually, no, let me change that because I actually want to do something different. Put dwarf. Dwarf pops out. He's like, oh, what? Oh,
I
man.
thought it was an elf, but it became a dwarf.
Yeah. It's like, oh, where's the rest of my company at? Who are you?
Do I recognize this dwarf?
You don't recognize him immediately, but go ahead and make me go ahead and roll me a history check.
That's right. All dwarves know each other.
Really quick, did we hear what was said over there? Like, is that too far away for us to hear what he said?
No, I mean, you guys pretty much driven off the wolves and you guys are in an open plain area, so, 55 feet, and he's kind of not being quiet about it.
That's a 19.
From that, it's a dwarvish clan that could be considered a cousin of yours. You don't know a whole lot about it. You just know that somewhere a distant uncle married into that family, but at least you know that it's someone that he's a descendant of a familiar clan at least.
Okay.
So he kind of takes a minute to breathe, checks himself over. You can tell that he's kind of still winded for the most part.
Okay, well, hearing that while they're doing that and talking to them, I'm gonna approach over here and kind of try to. I'll use I've got a crowbar, and I'll kind of use it to try and see if I can pry the webs back away from whatever's in it.
Oh, okay. So as you do so, a body just falls out, and unfortunately, there's no signs of life coming from it. It's another dwarf.
Do I happen to notice anything on him, by chance, that may be of interest?
Nothing really. He's just got some standard leather armor and an axe. That just standard equipment that you would see for any normal military career person.
Okay. And then, seeing that, I'll go do it to the same thing. Well, is this on fire or not?
Yeah, it's currently cooking.
Okay, I don't have any way to handle that, so I won't go near that. Never mind. That's it. I just heard him saying something about looking for his company, so I was getting them out.
We found you here in these woods, inside these webs. There were some wolves nearby. But you're in a spider web. These two things, they don't make much sense.
Bloody hell. First large spiders and now dire wolves? What is going on this road? This road hadn't had an incident in 4 months.
Excuse me, is this one of your compatriots?
Oh no, lad just started last week. Didn't even get to know his name.
Well, no chance to know.
Oh my.
check him out for wounds and stuff real quick, Sal.
Okay, good.
I don't think
Yeah, just a standard medicine check will work. Yeah, you kind of notice that he has some bite marks on his leg that looks like it came from some sort of incisor type thing that you would see off of large spiders.
Well, the good news is I believe you will live.
I
I'm sorry about your friends. Where are the spiders at?
well,
You
that's
actually should be looking for corpses. Spiders.
I agree. We were en route. Me and my dwarven company were en route to the Colosseum to go and deliver the latest wares from Platea, but I don't know. We set up camp and we set up watches, and all of a sudden there was, a good dozen spiders on top of us, and then all of a sudden I got bitten. Then here you are.
Strange. Well, we can help you as best we can, but I imagine you are going to head back. Did you have a card or anything that was with you?
Yeah. He kind of tries to get his bearings. It's like, yeah, I'm not too far from here, but we probably can't go through the forest now. But if we go back to the path, I can lead you to where my company's set up. And he slowly makes his way down.
All right, I'm gonna follow him.
He's kind of limping a little bit, just because I don't mind the Morning Star. I guess that carried over and I didn't notice it. Kind of leads you all over, with his limping leg a little bit, but it's not slowing down. As soon as he gets there, he's like, "Oh no, the company."
You said you were gone for days, yes?
But it shouldn't. These lads were not exactly pushovers. What happened?
Do we happen to see like any visible signs of what may have occurred?
Go ahead and roll.
Obviously they're dead, but
Yeah, roll me an investigation.
Can I run over to one of the bodies and see if they seem like they were attacked by wolves?
Yeah, so
Dire wolf spiders.
Dang it.
So if you want to investigate, I'll roll me investigation. You guys can get an idea what happened here.
Can I do medicine if I'm looking at these dead bodies?
If you're looking in terms of the type of injury, then yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I think
To see
Lore
if-
knows what's up.
To see if they're similar to what I saw with the lad in the camp.
Yeah, so you can tell that in here that although there are some wolf marks, there's also some indication that he was also stabbed by some type of blade. Lore is looking at this place and pretty much has deduced that this camp was set upon by some sort of humanoid figures, and also there's enough evidence to conclude that something else was accompanying them as well, some type of beast, whether it be wolf or something of that genius as well.
21 on medicine.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell that not only are there some heavy bite marks that look close to what the guy in the camp had, but there's some pretty precise knife and sword work done on these bodies.
Can I go check like the perimeter around the edges of the camp, seeing if there are any like footprints or tracks?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me survival on that one.
I will be lucky to find my way back.
Ooh, yeah, you get there was a lot of footwork in this area. There's footprints of battles, and there's just prints everywhere. I mean, it doesn't help either that the wagons got turned over and caused even more stuff to spill on the ground. It's it can be a little bit difficult.
Dire spider wolf bandits.
So, Dwarf, you said you were separated from your company at one point?
We were going to scout ahead and try to see if we can make heads or tails as to why our dwarven caravans are being ambushed, and me and the lad and that poor soul that was burned were sent as a scouting party to see if we can make what was going on, and then we were ambushed.
Well, the good news is your company found the people who are ambushing people.
Well, this is counterfactual to what I have learned from the cartographer earlier today, or earlier this week. This is dizzying my intellect.
I know. Disappointing, isn't it?
Tatanka, what's your response to this as you're seeing more dwarves dead on the ground with the caravan toppled over? Any reaction from you due to your history?
I'm just kind of like have a little bit of a PTSD thing going on. Like I'm slowly taking it all in. Like my mouth is open.
She's besotted.
Awe that this is happening.
Tonka Exie has stopped responding.
Pretty much, like I'm just kind of like withdrawing into myself. Like it feels like it's happening all over again.
He's like, that blasted anvil. I didn't think that they would come and hit us for that, but maybe the old myth's true. Tatanka, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Two.
Yeah, you're still shocked from the PTSD that you're not able to grasp what he's even trying to mention.
I send my steel defender over useful to go bother Tatanka for a moment. By being a cute robot dog.
Tatanka currently is MIA for some reason. Her computer just randomly shut off.
Oh.
Lovely. So, Tatanka and her computer are not responding. Emotionally or literally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez.
I was directing
Yeah,
the
my computer
question
has
more
emotional problems sometimes too.
at the dwarf, though, the anvil he was talking about.
Yeah, you can roll me a history check since you heard that.
May I also? I feel like
Yeah,
I
you're
for sure wouldn't know this.
Yeah, you probably have no idea. Well, no, because you're not even from there. Belzak might have an idea just because he's a seafarer.
I doubt it.
Even though I'm proficient in history, I don't know anything about this place.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a roll because I probably have
Okay.
heard that.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. I rolled a 6, unless you're feeling really generous.
Yeah, unfortunately. Not. So, Laura, you know from previous records that there was a talk of an anvil that was shattered and was distributed amongst different dwarven tribes to prevent it from being reassembled, since they couldn't actually destroy it. It was called the Anvil of Calamity, and essentially what ended up happening was that those beings of evil or those serving demons would sacrifice spirits upon it and infuse the despair and negative energies into weapons, and making the cursed weapons of formidable power, but with a terrible bargain in it. And that the dwarves, since they could not destroy the anvil itself, they decided to just shatter it in pieces and keep it held in boxes. And it was something that they thought was, lost to myth, since no one had even brought it up in the last 200 years. But apparently someone thinks that now there's believes that myth to be true.
The Anvil of Despair, eh?
No, Calamity. What are you talking about?
The Anvil of Calamity. The Anvil of Calamity, huh?
That
What does it have to do with you, my friend?
he kind of just looks at you, kind of shocked. He's like, "Nothing, lad. Nothing."
Well, wait a second. Why did you mutter those
Insight
words?
check.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, go and roll an
Roll
insight check.
insight check.
I forgot I was writing something, just listening. I didn't have my insight check instinct on.
22.
18.
Yeah, so anyone with a 15 or over, you can definitely tell that he is absolutely not telling the truth about that mark. Like you know that he's
He's
BSing.
lying. He knows about the anvil.
He's like curses.
No one really knows anything about the anvil. It's just a myth, unless it's not.
All I can say is that potentially there's a piece of the anvil here, and someone's looking for it. Hence why all the destruction.
So bandits, wolves, and spiders, and misleading cartographers.
Hold up. Let me get this straight. There's a piece of an anvil here that they attacked the caravan for. That's what you're saying?
No, we didn't have an anvil, lad. Instead, they might have thought we had it because there were so many of us at once. But we think there's at least one piece here. Somewhere on this blasted island.
Okay, they're sorry.
On the island.
They're if I'm interpreting this correct, they're looking for the piece. I thought they were on patrol for something else.
He kind of grumbles. He's like, me and the clan were thinking that there was something behind the attacks, and someone thought that the piece of the anvil was here. We dismissed it as just a myth, something that we tell the kids. Oh, if you don't behave, you'll be sacrificed to the anvil. But now I'm worried. Where that rumor isn't a rumor.
Preeby, since she's on her tablet right now, trying to get the computer back up, she typed a question in role playing.
Oh, sure. Yes, Lass, the anvil was spread over the regions, given to several clans, and we made sure to never know which clans were actually in charge. The less we knew, the better.
If you don't know which clans have the pieces, then how do you ensure that someone hasn't stolen the pieces away from the clans?
And how do you know who to murder?
Well, he points around and is like, don't you see? Whoever is looking for this thing is just killing indiscriminately, hoping they get lucky.
As far as business plans go, that's not up there with good ones.
Well, since the knowledge is mostly lost, I guess this is their way of trying to systematically find it, especially on this island. There's not too many of us stores left now. We've been having caravan attacks over the last few months, and not many of our clansmen come to this island anymore.
Well, this sounds like a very unfortunate set of circumstances. I guess we'll keep our eyes open for this piece of the anvil.
Lass, what is wrong? What do you mean happening much longer?
She's almost back in. She's got a comp with a hard drive on it instead of a solid state.
You can see that the color flushes out of his face, and he's like, they might have more than we thought.
They?
Whoever did this, obviously it wasn't one person.
Do you know who this group is?
Tatanka, did you have a piece in your village? She says she doesn't know.
Yeah, unfortunately. Tatanka, go ahead and just roll let's go ahead and roll a history check. You might have. Let's see if you heard or overheard anything in your village.
Does he have any response to me asking if I know who this group of people is?
She rolled a 13.
If I know who that group of people... If he knows who that group of people is, rather.
No, he has no idea. He, like I said, he originally thought a few days before that it was just a myth, a boogeyman in the shadows, and now he's kind of seeing that this was looking like it's a lot more than that now. So he has no idea. He hasn't even, like I said, he didn't even think it was real up until just this week, this month. With a 13, Tatanka might be able to find something, but she might need to be needing assistance delving back into her memory to get a clear view of maybe conversations held in the past, but it's starting to sound familiar.
So basically a conversation for another time.
Yeah, it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to do kind of a memory sort of dive in. Like she'll need like maybe someone to do a seance or something like that to go back.
Well, bud, I'm sorry, your buds are gone. I know what this is like. It's not easy to swallow.
He find. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you hurry, there is a party that is adventuring back to Platea. They might be able to keep you company on the way there. But our direction takes us to the arena. Coliseum, that is. I guess any luck there.
He brings a piece of parchment and starts writing the notes down. And he's like, "Would one of you be willing to take this note to the clan and let them know that we met with disastrous results?"
I think that's a fair proposition. And what clan might we be dealing with?
He points to his chest piece, which has an emblazoned sword with a hammer on it. It's like, "We are Hammer Sword.
Very straightforward, huh?
We're not poets. We're warriors."
That's fair.
Where might we find this clan?
The clan has a small towns. Not town center, because gathering hall. The clan has a gathering hall near the arena. I'm going to bury my men. It's the least I can do.
That sounds fair. I don't mean to be that guy, but is there anything that may be of use here? I'm assuming you don't want to bury all of the goods and everything.
Go ahead and roll an investigation and see if there's anything.
Ooh. And of course I don't have my character sheet up because I was helping her. Investigation would put me at 22.
As far as you can tell, most of the stuff is either burned or broken. You find maybe a couple of bolts of cloth of just standard cotton and wool, but aside from that, it looks like anything that was worth taking was already taken off these wagons or was destroyed.
That's fair. I will go ahead and take whatever bit of wool that's there. I have an idea,
Okay.
but that's for later. So, how much wool is there, just out of curiosity?
There's probably about probably 2 large bolts of 25 feet worth of wool cloth.
Okay.
Anything else for this guy? And before we call it a night?
Did we get his name?
Oh, right. It's Duncan. Duncan Hammersword. Name of the clan itself.
I've got nothing.
I also don't have anything.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll go and leave it there for tonight, and then we'll go and continue your guys' trek through the woods, and maybe after an encounter, we'll get an encounter or two in that might be worth your time, and we'll maybe make it to the Coliseum and the town surrounding it. So I'm gonna end the stream there. Thank you guys for who stuck around and watched, and hopefully you were entertained. And we'll be back here in a week, and we'll catch you then.